The Chaco Canyon, nestled in New Mexico, is home to the remnants of a once flourishing civilization, with Pueblo Bonito at its heart, an intricately carved town within the desert rock. As the 12th century arrived, the enigmatic abandonment of these grand settlements raises questions about the ancestral Puebloans' choices. Chaco Canyon was the canvas for 12 settlements, known as Great Houses, reflecting the ancestral Puebloans' advanced culture. Over centuries, they constructed an elaborate network of roads, communities, and monuments, establishing a unique and influential society. From the 9th to the 13th century, Chaco Canyon was the zenith of North American culture, where affluent residents enjoyed a lavish lifestyle. However, in the 12th century, the civilization began to decline, shrouded in mystery, with clues pointing to violence and upheaval. The ancestral Puebloan culture, also called the Anasazi, emerged around the 2nd century AD. Initially simple people in small villages, they evolved into skilled basket weavers, transitioning to agriculture, hunting, and bow and arrow use in the 8th century. Their culture's transformative phase, the Pueblo era, began in 750 AD, marked by above-ground stone dwellings and distinctive circular ceremonial rooms known as great kivas. Their society thrived, marked by opulent trappings and advanced architecture, with kivas adorned with fine timber. However, the precise cause of their decline remains a mystery. Archaeological findings reveal signs of violence and mass graves, but the full truth eludes us. Experts suggest that the ancestral Puebloan society centered around religion and politics. Recent studies debunked the belief that the soil in Chaco Canyon was too saline for crops. Instead, the challenge was water access. The ancestral Puebloans ingeniously engineered water channels, dams, wells, and tanks to ensure crop growth, sustaining their great houses. Contrary to previous beliefs about their egalitarian structure, a 2017 study challenged this notion. Remains found in Pueblo Bonito revealed signs of hierarchy, with one individual buried with abundant turquoise and the others being matrilineal descendants, possibly part of a dynastic elite. The 9th century saw the construction of Pueblo Bonito, the largest great house with around 800 rooms. Concurrently, the Pueblo I era began, characterized by great houses and surrounding villages. By the 12th century, Pueblo II, they constructed cliffside houses and multi-story dwellings, spreading their architectural influence to settlements up to 100 miles away. By the early 14th century, the entire Chaco Canyon had been abandoned, but the ancestral Puebloans didn't disappear. They'd migrated south and east, founding new settlements in regions with favorable water sources. Their descendants spread across the American Southwest. In 1680, they successfully revolted against European colonialists, maintaining freedom for 14 years. However, subsequent warfare and disease took a toll, leaving only a few Pueblo communities by the 18th century. Their legacy lives on in modern tribes, tracing their lineage to Chaco Canyon. The architectural influence of the ancestral Puebloans endures in vast adobe settlements still inhabited today. Their history intertwines with modern Pueblo tribes' origin stories, preserving the memory of their adaptability. Unfortunately, Chaco Canyon faces a threat from development companies due to its rich natural resources. Preservation efforts are crucial to safeguard this cultural heritage. In the eyes of modern Puebloans, these places were never truly abandoned. They remain an integral part of their heritage and responsibility as stewards of these places. In the 11th century, the ancestral Puebloans frequently migrated between great houses and villages via a well-connected road network. By the 12th century, many smaller settlements were abandoned, yet the great houses like Pueblo Bonito thrived until a mysterious decline. By the 14th century, the entire Chaco Canyon had been abandoned. Scholars speculate that their own success led to problems. Clearing forests for agriculture disrupted their food sources, and a 12th century drought caused crop failure and famine, possibly sparking violent conflicts as evidenced by mutilated human remains and mass graves. Another drought in the 13th century worsened food shortages and intensified conflicts with other indigenous groups, eventually leading to the abandonment of the great houses. Stephanie Crabtree's simulation suggested that an individual named Burial 14, buried with turquoise, may have initiated political differentiation in Chaco Canyon, possibly ruling Pueblo Bonito and the canyon for 3 centuries. The ancestral Pueblones left an enduring architectural legacy that inspired settlements up to 100 miles away, despite smaller communities' resource limitations. Outside the grand settlements, simpler lives were led, while others sought opportunities in places like Pueblo Bonito, facilitated by an advanced transportation network connecting great houses and villages. Yet by the early 14th century, the entire Chaco Canyon was deserted, with factors like environmental challenges, resource scarcity, and internal conflicts contributing to the departure. The ancestral Pueblones didn't vanish. They'd migrated south and east to areas with reliable water sources, mastering irrigation systems in places like the White Mountains and the Rio Grande Valley. Spanish colonialists encountered their descendants in the 1600s but faced resistance. Warfare and diseases eventually reduced their numbers to as few as 25 to 30 communities by the 18th century. Nonetheless, their influence endures, with modern tribes tracing their lineage to Chaco Canyon. Their architectural legacy continues in contemporary adobe settlements, still vast and impressive. Additionally, Chaco Canyon's history became intertwined with the origin stories of modern Pueblo tribes, like the Hopi and Taiwa, who endured challenging migrations. Some tribal elders possess knowledge of an unidentified Chaco region in the north, highlighting the ancestral Pueblones' adaptability and enduring legacy in the present day. Unfortunately, the region where it all began now faces threats. While it is currently possible to visit the ruins of settlements like Pueblo Bonito and walk in the footsteps of those who lived there centuries ago, the area is also rich in natural resources, including oil and gas. Development companies are encroaching upon this region. For the modern Pueblones who consider Chaco Canyon their cultural heritage, this encroachment is a process that must be halted before it reaches a point of no return. Preservation consultant Tori Pascal expressed in a 2017 interview with The Guardian that many Pueblo cultural leaders believe that these places were never truly abandoned and should continue to be regarded as home. They feel a deep responsibility as stewards of these places to maintain a connection with them. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.